All right, we're diving into the remarkable life of Jaswinder Bhalla, a man who, get this, lived two incredible, completely different lives at the same time. He was a respected academic, and he was also a comedy icon. So, how on earth did he master both? Let's get into it. Okay, so this really lays out the central paradox of his life, right? On one side, you have Dr. Jaswinder Singh Bhalla, the professor, the scholar with a PhD, and on the other, you've got Jaswinder Bhalla, the legendary comedian, the man behind the famous character Chacha Chatter Singh. The story of how one person became both of these people is just fascinating. So let's start by digging into this tale of two Bhalas. His story kicks off in Dureha, Punjab. Now, his father was a primary school teacher, so you can imagine that education wasn't just encouraged in his house, it was fundamental. It was everything. And that foundation, well, it really set the stage for the first half of his incredible career. First up, let's meet the scholar. Long before all the fame and the laughter, there was Dr. Bala in the classroom. And just look at this academic path. It was a straight line of pure dedication. He got his bachelor's and master's degrees from Punjab Agricultural University, then his PhD, and then he went right back to teach there. He didn't just stop at professor either. He eventually became the head of his department. You know, this wasn't some side gig for him. This was a full, distinguished career that spanned decades. But here's where it gets really interesting. While Dr. Bala was busy lecturing in the classroom, a completely different person was starting to emerge. This is the story of the comedian, on screen and on the stage. His journey into comedy kind of simmered for a while. It started back in college on the radio, but it absolutely exploded in 1988 with Chhankata. Now, you got to remember, this was before streaming, before podcasts. These audio cassettes were a huge deal. You would hear them in cars, in shops, in homes all across Punjab. He became a household name almost overnight. At the very heart of all that success was one character, Chacha Chatter Singh. And what was so brilliant about this character was that it wasn't just slapstick. Through this persona, Bala was creating this sharp, witty satire of Punjabi life, poking fun at everything from politics to the clash between village and city life. He wasn't just telling jokes, he was holding up a mirror to society, and people absolutely loved what they saw. So he went from being an audio star to a star of the silver screen. Next up, Bala took on the world of cinema. I mean, his filmography basically reads like a greatest hits of modern Punjabi blockbusters. He was a key comedic powerhouse in huge films like Jat and Juliet and Yar Amule. But really, it was the Carry On Jetta movies that cemented his status as a true cinematic legend. If his name was on the poster, you just knew it was going to be hilarious. And his appeal wasn't just limited to Punjab. He took his comedy global, performing for these massive Punjabi diaspora communities in places like Canada and Australia. The laughter that he started on a local radio station had officially crossed oceans. You know, when you see it all laid out like this, the sheer scale of his life just becomes so clear. A PhD in agricultural science, right next to a blockbuster film career. Head of a university department, right next to the creator of Chacha Chatter Singh. It's really a summary of two full, remarkable careers, all lived by one man. So what is the legacy that this man of both laughter and learning left behind? He passed away at just 65 years old, and it left this massive void in two completely different worlds. Tributes poured in, of course, from the film industry, but also from the academic community, from his former students and his colleagues. It just proved how deeply he was respected in every single part of his life. And this quote, I think it just gets to the heart of his genius. See, his two careers weren't really separate at all. They were connected. The scholar's sharp mind is what informed the comedian's witty observations. His comedy was intelligent and his teaching was probably incredibly entertaining. He just fused the two worlds together seamlessly. So why does his story matter so much? Because he proved you don't have to choose just one path in life. You can be the scholar and the star. You can be serious and you can be silly. His life was really a masterclass in pursuing all of your passions, and he left a legacy of both knowledge and just immeasurable joy. In the end, his life leaves us with a question that's not just about him, but about all of us. What different worlds could we master if we just dared to pursue them both? Jaswinder Bhalla's legacy is a powerful answer to that, a life of laughter and learning that will not be forgotten.